Omega returns to the Impact Zone. I'm Mack Carlins, and this is Just Pro Wrestling News for Thursday, July 1st, 2021. A big welcome to those of you listening on TheWrestlingRevolution.com. You can bring our updates to your website. Email us, desk@JustProWrestlingNews.com.
Impact Wrestling.
Impact World Champion Kenny Omega is back on tonight's Impact Wrestling. He'll tag up with the Good Brothers against the trio of Sami Callihan, Moose, and Chris Sabin. Also on tonight's show, Satoshi Kojima versus Eddie Edwards, Chris Bahh versus Petey Williams, and Rich Swann and Willie Mack versus TJP and Fallah Bahh. Impact says it'll have live fans in attendance for its TV tapings after Slammiversary. Those are happening on Sunday, July 18th and Monday, July 19th.
AEW.
Eddie Kingston and Penta El Cerro Miedo will get a shot at the AEW Tag Titles. They beat the Young Bucks in a non-title match on last night's Dynamite. Brandon Cutler and the Good Brothers tried to help the Bucks, but Frankie Kazarian was there to help even the odds for the good guys. That title match is now set for next week's Dynamite. Also added to next week's show, Andrade El Idolo will make his AEW in-ring debut against Matt Sydal. Inner Circle's Jake Hager, Santana, and Ortiz face the Pinnacle's Wardlow, Dax Harwood, and Cash Wheeler, and Orange Cassidy and Chris Statlander versus The Blade and The Bunny. Plus, MJF promised that next week he'll announce the stipulation he wants for another match against Chris Jericho. MJF beat Sammy Guevara in last night's main event. It was a chair shot from Shawn Spears that made the difference. Miedo is still the TNT champion after Brian Pillman Jr. passed out while he was locked in the game-over submission hold. Jungle Boy submitted Jack Evans with the snare trap. It's Jungle Boy's 50th win in AEW, the most in company history. After the match, Jurassic Express and Christian Cage took out the Hardy family office. AEW Women's Champion Dr. Britt Baker and Rebel beat Nyla Rose and Vicky Guerrero. Britt submitted Vicky with the lockjaw. After the match, Rose powerbombed Baker through a table. Dark Order publicly confronted Kenny Omega and vouched for Hangman Page as the next challenger for the AEW Championship. Hangman wasn't with them at the time, and later he made it clear that he wasn't too thrilled about Dark Order speaking on his behalf. Brian Cage is going to defend the FTW title on Dynamite on July 14th against Ricky Starks. Last night's Dynamite was the last at Daly's Place for a while, but AEW did announce they'll return on August 4th. Also, AEW is now planning 3 straight shows in Chicago in September. All Out on Sunday, September 5th will be preceded by episodes of Rampage and Dynamite in the same arena.
New Japan Pro Wrestling.
We have the first match announced for New Japan's Resurgence show in Los Angeles on August 14th. It'll be Jay White defending his never Openweight Championship against David Finlay. Back in Japan, New Japan is running shows on back-to-back days, Thursday and Friday. Both of those shows are free on New Japan World. Friday's show has a never 6-man title match in the main event. Hiroki Goto, Tomohiro Ishii, and Yoshihashi defending against Hiroyoshi Tenzan, Satoshi Kojima, and Yuji Nagata. The Good Brothers are back in New Japan. Doc Gallows said they always wanted to leave that door open.
Kind of no matter where we went, we wanted that to be, the option. And Impact allowed that right out of the gate. That was, one of the first things in that conversation was being able to work for New Japan as well.
That clip from Gallows from an interview posted on New Japan's YouTube. The Good Brothers say they plan to wrestle in Japan again, but before that, they'll be part of a tag team tournament in the US that is airing on New Japan Strong.
WWE.
Today's NXT UK has a Heritage Cup Championship match. Tyler Bate defending against Jack Stars. Also on the show, A-Kid versus Jordan Devlin.
Ring of Honor.
Alex Gracia is the latest to get a ticket into the upcoming Ring of Honor Women's Championship Tournament. That is Just Pro Wrestling News for Thursday, July 1st. Our next update comes your way tomorrow morning, so please rate, review, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. I'm Mack Carlins. Thank you for listening.
This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.